Nerderotic.com.
I am loving every nanosecond of this. This is glorious to watch this because, particularly because of all the fucking gassed up or people fucking gaslighting or gassing up this mid that was Superman and defended it for years, saying it was more successful than it really was. And now you've hit the wall. And to the James Gunn apologists out there, you must feel real dumb. And if you want to blame somebody, blame James Gunn.
Yeah.
No, blame James Gunn.
Blame you. Hold on. No, don't blame James Gunn. I mean, blame him for a lot, but don't blame him for that. Blame yourself for being a fucking retard and a cum guzzling bitch. That's who you should blame. You should blame yourself if you stood up there and defended James Gunn through Superman. If you tried to gaslight you and everybody else into believing that this thing was actually a massive fucking success when it wasn't. And now we have this. One of the funniest things of this entire Supergirl debacle has been seeing these weirdo DCU influencers, the ones who tweet 100 times a day about Superman and about James Gunn and how it's okay that James Gunn watches other people fuck his wife. It's amazing, really, I promise. All those people, some of them who went to these premieres, who got invited to premieres, got the access you wanted, put out positive reviews of Supergirl, glowing reviews, and then had to fucking backtrack as they got crushed, as they got annihilated, because it is undeniable that this thing is a monumental disaster. And even the fucking liars and pieces of shit like them can't run from it anymore.
Yep. And we're not going to name names, but Angry Joe is specifically someone that we are don't want to name names, don't want to point anybody out or anything like that. But yeah, Angry Joe has been a complete and total clown on social media over this. It's interesting that he never talks about this shit on his main channel, though. He doesn't want to like get into his TDS and his meltdowns on his main channel.
Oh, there are snide comments snipped in about people on X that just can't shut up and I'll let them do what they do and all that kind of thing.
Yeah. He's kind of vague, you know. But
all the fucking hills to die on.
Supergirl.
Good job, buddy.
But then he gives it a 4 out of 10. He didn't even like.
I think that's what makes it both
chuds. But he's still defending it.
No, it's
defending it now, talking about review bombing.
It's a typical leftist mentality. You know, you can't just sit there and go, you know what? I was wrong. Everybody else was right. No, he's got to blame everyone else that was right. He doesn't have the ability to just go, yeah, really. I mean, all those guys that I said were, you know, blowing smoke, they actually turned out to be 100% right. He doesn't have that ability. So now it's review bombing, even though he's the one that would be considered part of the review bombing. Like everybody else has watched the fucking movie because it's terrible.
Well, you're doing it because of sexism, not him. He's actually virtuous.
Well, yeah, but we're also reviewing the movie honestly, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Two things can be true. I can hate women and hate this movie. Like, that's fair. They're not mutually exclusive.
I like that his entire comment section on his review was simply how much he hates women. You're just intimidated. Steph put that thumbnail. It's not made for you. It's just so good.
It's good.
And of course, just me responding with that stupid ass Gary picture just ratioed him to hell. I didn't have to say anything. Just post a stupid picture of Gary. By the way, Twitter, you're looking for some traction, post stupid pictures of Gary as replies.
There's a lot of them.
You'll get a lot of traction. All right.
Works on Twitter, works on YouTube thumbnails.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
It's kind of surreal, like scrolling through YouTube and there's my stupid face. Wow.
Wait, this is a good video. Okay. Oh, wait,
okay. Apparently they like me. It doesn't show.
Bro, during like the Batman era, when all those fucking thumbnails of me in my car, I look like such a fucking redneck racist pile of shit.
Such a dumb picture. So the backstory here, Gary, correct me if I'm wrong, is they were writing some site wrote an article about you being a Nazi. And they used this picture to describe you.
I'm wearing a 199 hat, which tops it off.
Was it the Mary Sue?
No, it was like the India Times or something like that. I don't know.
India Times.
I can't remember.
Going international.
Yeah. This man is a racist and a Nazi, although we have more swastikas than any country.
It's been very fun though. Like, so the original tweet that Joe was mad about, where he posted your or he quote tweeted you and that beautiful Perry Chan thumbnail. And I responded, and I basically just sarcasm as I always do with Joe, but I'm like, hey man, I didn't know you were a big fan of Gary. Congrats on the shout out. One thing I love about Gary is he's always willing to shout out small YouTubers like you to kind of get some traction. So, and then he responded with, shut up, Jeremy. And then he put a LOL on it. And then he started ranting about you again. And he's completely unhinged at this point.
Yeah. I mean, has anybody checked if he's okay? He's been going off since Father's Day. Father's Day.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing all right.
Yeah. So apparently he didn't have much to do on Father's Day, which is probably some good news because that means he doesn't have kids. I don't know. Joe, go to the gym. Go to the gym. Well, look at that beautiful thumbnail, man. That is
that's crazy work.
That needs to go into the thumbnail loop.
That's really good.
Stop the Asian hate, by the way.
You know, one of the best ones is from Mr. Grizzy, and he did that stupid thing where he was pushing his chest together and he gave him big tits.
Oh yeah.
The fuck is he thinking, dude?
Well, bear in mind, what started all of this was that he got so triggered by Disparu rightly pointing out that Millie Alcock saying that, what was it exactly that, she could go both ways or something like that in regards to Supergirl, right?
It was also the part where it's like the great part about this movie is there's no romance. There's not a man. It's not centered on a man. And then she talked about the Pride Month and blah, 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 all that. I think that was the clip, right, Disparu?
Yeah, it doesn't center around men. It doesn't center around romance at all. And on the tweet that was just there, his whole point was, well, I've always said it doesn't appeal to these groups. It's like, yeah, that was my point. All this time, he just seems to get angry that he's agreeing with people he can't stand. And I think that's what really enrages him the most.
That's really what it is, yeah.
Like, I'm actually a chud too.
Oh, no.
Who am I?
Poor guy.
You know who else is a chud? Grace Ranch.
Got her.
Her review is fantastic. I said, when I reacted to it, I said, she's been watching FNT. I mean, there's no doubt that. Like,
she was right, though.
She's 100% right.
They didn't follow the book at all.
No,
at all.
And the book isn't good either.
It's not. It's a Tom King book.
Yeah.
So, like, they made such a big deal about that, and they didn't even use it, really. It's kind of crazy.
Rachel Leishman had a banger about this one. She kept complaining that places like Variety got men to review the movies and said, if you can't get a woman to review this movie, what are you doing? And then she quoted Grace, an epic failure on the level of Birds of Prey. I'm like, this is disgusting. You have no taste at all. So you can't win.
Out. Yeah, you put that tweet out. I covered that in a video. But yeah, like, this is it. Typical virtue signaling. You want women to review something. Woman reviews it. You don't like what woman says. You get mad and lash out at woman. Like, it's insane.
But Disparu, Rachel does have taste. She tastes everything in a refrigerator every day. Go to the gym.
That's why she likes this movie so much, though. It gives her an excuse.
No.
Well, this movie is all about just validating, being awful, and then, everything.
Hedonism.
It's feminist. It's feminist
we'll
propaganda.
get into it. The speech that was given to Supergirl on Krypton is the worst. It is freaking awful. The subtle messaging, the not so subtle messaging is terrible. It is the worst. It is anti-hero, not heroic, but we'll get to that.
That's what she is.
Yeah.
And not even an interesting one. That's the problem. Anti-heroes can be interesting. You shouldn't make Supergirl an anti-hero. And maybe I say maybe she's changed her mind by the end of the movie, but not fucking really, because she gives the speech about not killing him and then she goes kills this guy anyway.
No, she even admits in an interview that she doesn't go on a character journey. She pretty much stays the same. It looks like she just quits drinking for a couple of days.
That's called every fucking female superhero movie that we've seen nearly in the past decade. They don't go on a journey. They don't discover and find something that they need to do with their lives. Their discovery is that really they were just fucking awesome all along and everybody else is lame and gay. That's the female hero's journey, because you can't have the flawed female character. Their flaws need to be perceived as fucking cool. That's what Millie Alcock Supergirl is supposed to be throughout this entire movie, as she's a fucking like depressed alcoholic, which look, I fucking sympathize with that a lot. Okay. This movie's kind of made for me, except the whole female part. But like, you're supposed to think that that's fucking cool and awesome. That's why she's wearing all that shit in all the promos. Like, they want you to idolize that part of her and think that that's awesome, and everybody else in the world is just the problem.
But they could have had they could have had a good movie if they had just done her origin. That they've never really done that.
Yep.
They had some of that in there. If they had just done that story, that would have been a much better movie.
And it still should have been like an animated streaming movie. It shouldn't have been released in theaters. Let's be real. Comic fans are not that interested in Supergirl. Not to
That's true too.
You think $175 million, $50 million. Okay, sure. That makes sense.
Deadline now says 186. They've increased it in the last article.
And I bet it's worse than that.
$6 million.
Yeah. Supergirl is only a property that would ever do well if Superman is going gangbusters and they had a really positive Superman. She's a derivative character.
Correct.
She will only be popular if the character she's based off of is really popular in that thing. You try to push this out when Superman isn't popular, of course it's going to bomb.
Are you trying to tell me that the only way women's entertainment can be popular is if men are being successful? It's almost like sports. It's almost like sports, and it's almost like literally everything else in fucking life.
It's like a truth to that, except for
yeah.
Well, who was in all the promotion? Lobo and Superman, who were barely in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason, he can be locked up too.
And as mentioned it, you could chronologically line up the clips and trailers that have been released, and you've seen the movie. That's pretty much it. You saw every action scene and every pivotal, and I'm air quoting that scene.
Well, I got to give credit where credit's due. Two things. Unpopular opinion, probably. I didn't think Millie Alcock was that bad. I thought the movie around her was terrible. I thought that they did her no favors whatsoever. I thought the script, the writing, the camera angles, it was just horrible how bad they made her look. But she was not as bad as I thought she would be. And the second thing is spot on casting for Jason Momoa. Because if you want to cast Jason Momoa, you should certainly cast Jason Momoa to play him. Yeah. So I don't think you could have gotten a better person to play Jason Momoa. So Jason Momoa did a great job of that. And as he's done in every movie he's ever been in and show, it's just distracting at this point. He's not an actor. He's just Jason fucking Momoa.
My man.
Everything he's in. And if you just accept that, you just accept it.
Well, in particular in this movie,
same with The Rock.
He's not trying. Yes. He's just like, hey, what's up? Me. I'm Jason. Lobo. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, man.
Jason,
I think he does work as Lobo. The problem is, so many people would be like, oh, yeah, I love Lobo. I'd love a Lobo. Lobo is not really a fucking character, okay?
No.
Lobo, like, that is what he does. He fucking comes in, runs into something. Everything's fucking messy. He might help out because he needs this thing done in this certain way, and then he fucks off and goes about his business. That's what you need from Lobo. That's not a movie. Like,
there's no stakes with him.
Should have just got a Jason Momoa Lobo movie. You don't fucking actually want that. You don't.
Yeah. And there's no stakes with him. He can't die.
Yeah.
That's why it was stupid he was locked up in that cell, because poison. Well, that can't kill him. Only another person from his race can kill him.
He got very popular in the 90s, despite being around since the early 80s. But he's very much a 90s comic character, an extreme 90s comic character.
Well, and it could have worked as like a mirror to Supergirl of like, if I don't stop, I'm going to end up like this guy or something. And that doesn't happen either. He's just kind of there walking around, and she just goes like, cool, I'm going to go piss myself now. And he's like, okay, cool. Me too. Yeah, that's cool. You said dumb bitch from the bar. She's like, I was going to say the same thing about you. He's like, cool.
That's Supergirl. You get to see Supergirl puke. You get to see Supergirl pee.
Fall asleep as she's
that was insane.
Everything a superhero comic book fan wants.
It's so bad. This movie was horrendous in every way possible.
Here's a question I have. Was it two questions? Was it worse than the Marvels, and was it more cringe than the Marvels? Because I think that this
Marvels is worse.
That's what I think as well. I think it's worse and it's more cringe.
Yeah,
I think it's like a step above the Marvels.
Yeah.
Did I watch
Supergirl
the
doesn't have
Marvels?
black
I don't
girl
even
magic.
remember if I watched that shit.
I hated
Not a musical.
Mandalorian and Grogu more than this movie. But
Well,
that might be
yeah,
because I
Grogu's
hate
more
Star Wars
boring.
so much too. So
If we're being real, like the Marvels had a
Rhino's coming in
prominent
now.
black female, so that makes it worse.
Black girl magic.
Good timing. So
That's perfect.
Yeah, the writing honestly it reminded me a lot more of like Birds of Prey, where it's just like things are just happening and things are just going on and everything's just very convenient and there's no actual stakes whatsoever except for an egg sandwich like in Birds of Prey, or in this one, oh, your dog just conveniently gets shot and all of a sudden, this whole thing to get an antidote around someone's neck. It's just
Be
so
honest,
stupid. Everything about
That
it.
sandwich was more compelling than anything.
That's true.
Like,
Well, you could have flown Crypto to a planet or a system with a yellow sun
I was
where he
thinking
was
that.
healed.
the movie's over right there.
Yes.
Well, they literally show it when she gets injected with kryptonite. All she needs to do is get into the yellow sun, and that can
Yes.
cure her of nearly anything. And I'm like,
Well,
well, you've just shown in
Well,
universe
but
that
they
was cure all.
I got to ask
There's a
this
throwaway
too, 'cause-
line about that.
Like they can't
say,
move him too much or some
They
shit.
can't move him. Oh, if we move him too much, it'll get worse and kill him. It'll speed up
Oh,
the
that's
process.
such bullshit though.
That is.
So you just move the thing that's
bullshit.
holding
Is it?
him.
Are they now hurt by the color green? Because I don't. Why is
Yes.
it? So if the sun's green, it's not kryptonite. Why is
I
she
think that's the
hurt?
implication. Is
Okay.
at least that, yeah.
So are they now like
Canonically-
lanterns where they get hurt by a color? That's fucking stupid.
Canonically, well, actually, canonically, they have done this in the comic books, Flash, and it's the radiation that emanates from the green sun that
Okay.
affects them, kind of like kryptonite. But it's
You have to say
it's
that though.
inconsistent, and also
Yeah.
it's really fucking dumb. So
Yeah.
let's just put this out here. Flash knows not everything they've introduced in the comic books is a good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot have been bad ideas that you don't interpret, but they decided to bring in the green sun, but not use something like truth, justice, and the American way.
How many times have they used that though? You know.
God.
I mean, was that just from some Silver Age comic? Because he also
Silver Age
has a
comic.
machine that turns people black.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like some things
that's
just
like-
don't.
that is
normal, to be fair.
Also known as a weapon of mass destruction.
well, this is like a thing that's happened a lot recently too. I mean, it happened in The Witcher as well, like where they'll take something from the books that didn't even work in the books or the source material, and then they go like, guys, you obviously don't know it was in the comic books. You're like, just because it was in there doesn't mean it was good. But
Well,
that's
and
the
even if
defense
it
is
was,
like,
Mike, though, even if it was, the execution, like just because you put it in there doesn't mean the execution will work
Yes.
the same way.
absolutely.
Right? We've seen this in Star Wars when they've brought in different things that have maybe happened that they've ripped off from the expanded universe or whatever. Even if it worked when they did it then, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. And it's
Yep.
not just a throwaway excuse, well, this happened. You have to explain it. In the
Yeah.
same way, you know, Supergirl not being under a yellow sun and being depowered, yet still being stronger and still able to use her powers at times and all this stuff. It does not work in this movie at all because whatever she needs to do at whatever time she is able to do at that given time with whatever the plot dictates.
Yep.
There's no really rhyme or reason. But we have seen in comics and in animated shows and stuff, we've seen at times where Superman hasn't been on the yellow sun, hasn't had access to that, and has been depowered, but he still has some remnant solar energy that he has to
Yeah.
kind of be careful how he uses. We've seen it
battery.
work in stories, but it didn't work in this story because
No.
they didn't take enough care to explain it. And, in a comic, you can get thought bubbles and actually get inside people's head where you have to verbalize it sometimes on the screen. So even if you adapt something that's been done, you have to know how to do it the right way.
Yeah. Power
Exactly.
scaling, kind of important in a superhero movie.
Really important. And their execution of some of these things, especially the green sun, is so retarded. So there's like layers of stupidity. Supergirl comes to the planet and she doesn't realize that's a green sun. It's pretty bright, hard to miss, but she misses it. She gets on the planet. The guy who has the forethought to think, oh, Kryptonian coming after me, I'll be protected on a green sun planet. Let me go to a planet that has a green sun and a yellow sun.
And a yellow
How
sun.
did he
And
know
when the
she's a
yellow sun
Kryptonian
comes
though?
out, well,
she didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
he just
There's
They
only
just
two
rattled
of
out our
them.
asses.
There's only two of them.
where
How is
did he
this
get the
knowledge
kryptonite?
so much?
Exactly. Where did he
Yes.
get the kryptonite? Where
did he get
how did he
exactly.
know?
How do you
It
even
made no
know?
sense.
He
made
does
no
know she's a
sense.
Kryptonian because in the prison scene he says, "Where's your Kryptonian friend?" So he knew before that.
So there you go.
Yeah,
He's just
and
the universe's greatest detective.
Well,
then
even
Yeah.
with that knowledge, when the green sun goes down and is in the yellow sun, He's like, I'll be fine. And then, of course, then she gets
Yeah.
her powers back through nothing that she does at all. She just lies there, paralyzed, and waits for the yellow sun to come out. And then
Well,
she's fine.
she needs to have a flashback.
Yeah.
True.
She needs to have a big flashback, and then another one where they make Superman the butt of another joke.
Yeah.
Every
I'm
time
sorry,
he's on
Clark.
screen, they make fun of him.
He's not Superman. He's Clark Kent all the time.
I ended up hating David Cornsweat Superman worse after this fucking movie. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was terrible in fucking movie.
This makes Superman as bad as it was worse. Like
Every time I saw him, I'm just going, you got rid of Henry Cavill for this shit. Like that's what I was thinking.
Is, I think that he could be a good Superman.
Yes.
But not written by these people who just want to make what makes Superman so cool in this modern day a fucking joke. They make him into a punchline and kind of a fucking pussy at every opportunity.
He's a major. He's
they don't respect him.
He's walking on eggshells all the time,
he's not
trying to make
stoic or
people
anything
feel
like
he's not.
that.
Yeah, he's not stoic or doesn't have any.
He's kinda
presence or
cowardly.
charisma.
Yes, he is.
Hey, cousin, how's it going?
Yeah,
having a good time.
Yep.
I'm just wondering.
As Craig Gillespie calls him, he's a nerd. It's like Superman's not a fucking nerd.
No.
Superman, like you should be in awe around him, especially other superheroes should be in absolute awe. And part of that being in awe is, wow, this guy has the power of a god and he's good. And he's good.
Yep.
But you also don't fuck around him, and this one, you can get away with a lot of, God and Superman, Green Lantern's doing shit. He's all, oh gosh, golly, look at him go. Can't stop him.
That's why Supergirl's introduction at the end of the Superman movie was so off-putting, because there's a way you can have that exact same scene and actually work if the movie was different. If the movie, every single person that Superman encountered while being Superman had that respect for him, had that maybe a little bit of fear, like treated him the way that we think Superman needs to be treated all the time, then you know what? When his fucking, 19, 20, 20-year-old cousin comes in, who's also Kryptonian, and kind of calls him a bitch and gives him shit, that could actually come off as funny, because that's a family member treating him like family, as opposed to treating him the same way everybody else treats the hero, the character.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help, too, that the way that she... that's why I would push back a little bit about her acting, because I think she's written so terribly, and her direction for her and how to act on those specific roles and how to give those lines is such that you just hate her. Like, you just can't stand her the entire time that she is on screen. There's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to have any interest whatsoever. And so she can't even be an anti-hero, because that would require you to actually like her even at her worst, but you just hate her the entire time. You're like, wait, why does anyone like you? Why does anyone have a desire to be around you in any time?
But that's
very
not
specifically
Millie's
that
fault.
she's not an anti-hero though at all. And she is. This is how the writers perceive goodness. Like this is the if we look at the two characters, we have Supergirl, who that's what they view good as. They keep telling her to be good, but then if we look at Clem's not even a real character. He is just the embodiment of what the writers see as the worst possible virtues after scrolling on TikTok all day. You got a guy, child brides. It's all of the patriarchy. It's a
hurts animals,
compound of dudes, hurts animals. It is all the worst possible virtues that a guy could ever have, and that's what it is.
Probably has a YouTube
It's
channel.
not an anti-hero anyway.
Yep. Oh yeah, podcast channel.
Jerry, what were you going to say?
It's not Millie's fault the way she's acting, because she's told to be this character. It's like there's two things. The person you would cast for Supergirl and the person being cast for this. If you want an insufferable bint that goes through the entire thing, is absolutely disgusting and repulsive right from the get-go, Millie plays that great. It's just you don't recognize that as Supergirl. So when you say she's miscast, it's kind of like she's not miscast for the intention that they had for this movie, but they do if you actually want the character of Supergirl. And they actually call him a fragile man towards the end in this. And the way he's played isn't so much a villain. It is just a guy who doesn't care who he steps on to get whatever he wants. So at the start, when he's killing her family, it's only because one of them jumps out and then they attack him. He leaves her perfectly fine, whereas if you were an evil villain, you would have killed her as well. It's more that he doesn't care about anyone else or even think of them.
They even downplay the name Supergirl at one point in the movie. He's like, why aren't you Superwoman?
Yep.
Why aren't you Superwoman?
How come he's a man and you're just a girl?
Yeah.
No joke. She was
it's called a trademark issue, by the way. That's why.
she was so selfish, entitled, and insufferable. Like literally in the opening of the movie, she steals some guy's drink just because she's an asshole and she's drunk, right? And so everything about her is made to make her insufferable. That when she got to the point where she put on the Supergirl outfit, my genuine response was revulsion and a genuine feeling like, you don't deserve to wear that. You're not Supergirl. And not once throughout this whole film did it feel like I was watching a Supergirl film. There was nothing heroic in it.
You were watching James Gunn's take on Supergirl's film.
Just
this was 100%. James went, I have a treatment in the notebook. Make this movie exactly like I wrote it down. And then that person went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy and went, I can do this. I can do this. I got this.
And then he said, I got my solid script that I've been waiting for. And hey,
the aged out actress who has written nothing but a short in 2018, who's attractive. So maybe we know why she got the role. But and by the way, this was a solid script because, as you guys know, James Gunn wasn't going to roll with anything unless that script was solid.
That's why Supergirl was the second movie. Like, that's why they went forward, because the script was just so good, we couldn't not.
Right.
Even though it wasn't their original timeline.
And we know
we know go forward till the script's completely done and completely good to go, yet Man of Tomorrow, before the first draft is even over, that goes into production because that's James Gunn.
We know James Gunn has good taste because The Flash is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
And he hated the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah,
he hated the Dark Knight trilogy.
And loved Flash.
You can hate the Dark Knight Rises, but the other two are freaking awesome. Okay.
When it comes to Millie Alcock, it's tough. Like, it's tough to know what this could have been with a different script or whatever. She didn't give any performance worth writing home about. She certainly hurt the movie with a lot of the PR and marketing, as we've gone over for weeks and weeks and weeks. But one thing that you notice coming out of this, if you got to learn how to speak movie critic, right? So when we start getting these first reactions and everything, and you hear Millie Alcock shines in a slightly flawed movie about blah, blah, blah. What they really mean is the movie's fucking trash, but because it's not a straight white man leading it, they can't fucking say that. You see the same shit with Black Falcon Captain America bullshit.
Yes.
Anthony Mackie is divine as Captain America, but the movie's slightly flawed. What they mean by that is this is a huge pile of shit, but we can't say it because it's led by a woman or led by a black person.
They said the same for Acolyte and even a little bit with Brie Larson in the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
Brie does her best.
If this is correct, I looked it up, and Gunn made those comments before Rises even came out. So he just hated Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Yes.
Fuck off.
So
his comments are awful. If anybody that worked at DC read those comments and still hired that guy,
well, I mean, if anybody read his tweets,
James Gunn's ever shut on the internet, actually, right?
Yeah. Well, we all kind of remember he got fired for some stuff he said, and then they were like, "Well, we'll just bring him back." Yeah.
Well, I mean, this really there is no momentum going into Man of Tomorrow now. Holy shit. Because I think, Odin, you had said you think this could be one of the biggest flops in a long time financially, the way it's looking. We don't know for sure, but it ain't looking good. So what are we hearing? 186 million now is what the budget's up to? That's what Deadline's reporting?
So Tony at Deadline, he reported that, hey, I'd earlier reported $170 million budget, but I've heard from others, so again, you always take that with a grain of salt, that the net spend was 186. Now, what that means is that it actually costs a lot more than that. That's just including your tax credits and everything else. So after all the tax credits are brought in, it's still about 170 to 186 million dollar budget. That's just your production budget, not marketing. Something I made a comment on X earlier about, I was talking to Valiant Renegade, shout out to him, and he was saying how this break even that's been floating around of $315 million, which we think, okay, that doesn't sound right. That's ridiculous. Well, if that's actually the amount of money they have to make in net, meaning after all of the takes from the theaters are taken into account, then actually it does make sense. And that actually refers to the fact that that $315 million is your total spend. So that's marketing and budget. So they spent over $300 million in net spending on this movie. And so they have to make about $600+ million to break even.
Now, aren't
they? They only need to make $200 million to make their money back and consider it a victory. That's what I was told.
Oh, and please, for all you fucks who spent the last year trying to gaslight everybody about Superman, trying to say it was a success, trying to say it was a big hit, all this fucking gay bullshit that you people, like 3 options. You're either ignorant, you're either fucking lying, or you're goddamn retarded. Those are your only 3 options if you've been saying that shit for the last year. Okay? Please watch the things that are happening now, the things that Warner Brothers is saying now, this garbage about they considered a victory if it made $300 million. Guess what? These are the same things that got said about Superman at $500 million last year. It's the same playbook. They're trying to use you because most of you are fucking stupid. So don't go along with you're not going to go along with their lie this time. Why did you go along with it a fucking year ago?
It's the same playbook, but I think some of those numbers are dwindling, Ryan, and fading out, and some aren't. But listen, where was this filmed? Does anybody know? Was it filmed in the UK?
I
really hope
so. If it was. I mean, they for a lot of this stuff they've been filming in Georgia and Ohio for Superman and Man of Tomorrow, right? I'm not sure where this was filmed.
UK.
So if it was filmed in the UK, we will find out.
Yes. London, England. Yep.
Yeah. London, Scotland, and Iceland.
Oh, well, we will find out.
They give some pretty good tax credits, and that's the reason why you oftentimes see them go over there. So we could see the actual total spend on the budget for this movie go into a very, very high territory, which would make the entire thing even worse because this film's not making any money.
We just won't see it for a year and a half.
Yeah, it'll be a long time, but...
And by that time, James Gunn will probably be fired. Oh, I'm sorry. He'll just be told he was. They're going in a different, fresh direction. He's not really fired despite being hired. Just like with Henry Cavill, because they didn't fire Henry Cavill. They just let him go. They fixed the glitch, right, Jeremy?
Exactly.
You think he goes before Man of Tomorrow or after?
After.
Oh,
after.
It's got to be after.
There's no way they can fire him before then. There's no way. I mean, they may
he's going back to
him.
Marvel?
Listen, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. I agree with John Campea. I think James Gunn is going to quit over protest of Ellison having a meeting with Trump, and he's going to go back to Marvel.
Well, it's a good thing you chose that to agree with John Campea on, and not that Supergirl would make $1 billion.
Did he really say that?
Rob, you said it too, and I love you, Rob. You said it too.
They really said that?
Yes, they did.
But so somebody, if they have the knowledge, can maybe correct me if I'm wrong. When, last year, when Warner Brothers was still about to be sold and all this stuff, they gave big contract extensions to the guys that run Warner Brothers Studios. Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca.
Yeah.
Right? They gave them multi-year extensions. James Gunn and Peter Safran got multi-month extensions that
1 year.
run up to about it's just a month before Man of Tomorrow comes out.
Yeah.
So
spring 2027.
Yeah.
Chris was showing some press and of James Gunn showing up, and he looked perturbed. He looked a little bummed out. Yeah, he didn't
found out John Cena was busy that day or something.
Well,
His
his wife was probably a little more perturbed about that, but
I mean, he spent yesterday he tweeted out an incorrect fact about one of his favorite characters, Rick Flag Sr., instead of promoting Supergirl. So
what was it?
It got community noted. You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it. No. No.
You know, you fucked up when you're getting community noted about your own universe. Yikes.
Guys, canon doesn't matter. Oh my God. Rick Flag Sr. is proof that in a world full of metahumans, a determined human can be one of the toughest people in the room, especially when he's played by the one and only Frank Grillo. We love Frank Grillo, by the way.
Awesome.
His first comic appearance was in The Brave and the Bold 25 by Robert Kanigher. I can't pronounce that last name. With pencils by Ross, the great Ross Andrew, and Mike Esposito. What's the community note? Rick Flag Sr. first appeared in Secret Origins 14 in 1987. The Brave and the Bold 25, 1959. Debuted his son, Rick Flag Jr. Oh, no. Wait.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
What an idiot.
That's not a small mistake.
What a moron. Look at this guy.
Oh, thanks for showing me that, Ryan. That is going in my video.
Yeah.
That's what he did yesterday. Instead of promoting Supergirl while it's flopping, he tweeted an incorrect fact about his favorite fucking character.
The self-insert Rick Flag Sr. from Creature Commandos, by the way. That's a total. Garrett caught that. He's like, this is a self-insert. I'm like, you're right.
James Gunn is one of the most unlikable people in Hollywood, and that is an accomplishment to be that. I mean, he is up there. He is incredibly unlikable, and he thinks he's his own biggest fan. Yes, big time.
Look, I think everybody in Hollywood that's gotten anywhere has some sort of an ego, right? That's probably pretty natural, and most people have that in the industry probably, and that's why we like it when we see some of them seem humble, even if they're faking it. And you know what? When you're just a for-hire director and you come in and you're making 2 movies out of this 36, 40 movie cinematic universe, that can be fine. And people go, yeah, James Gunn, kind of kooky, kind of quirky. Yeah, I like James Gunn. When you're the guy making every single fucking decision and you're replying to nobodies on social media every single fucking day, when you're lying out of your teeth, when you seemingly can do nothing wrong, when trades break stories and you deny them, and then 2 days later it gets proven that no, you're the one that's lying, these are actually true. It is wearing really thin on everyone. And even now, for movies and shows that are not made by James Gunn, Supergirl directed by Craig Gillespie, and it just feels like another James Gunn movie, people are really sick of this shit. They're done with it.
Yeah, Mike said it best. It's somebody was hired to do a bad version of a bad James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
And James Gunn is he said this in interviews. He is a control freak. He wants control of everything that he can have. And so if you're going to try to do that, he's not delegating. He's just giving people the jobs that he can't handle right now and telling them to do it the way he would do it. So anytime that deviates, he's upset about it.
He's a terrible leader, a terrible CEO.
The fact that a terrible person.
The fact that he still did.
He needs somebody to tell him no. That's what he really needs.
But there's nobody because they gave him the keys and then he hired everybody that would say yes to him.
It seems like he doesn't even like comics as a medium, because we all know that he seems to hate heroes, is why he likes deconstructing them. But his comments about canon, where he's like, well, none of this it doesn't exist. It's not real. It can be whatever you want it to be, is essentially going, this doesn't matter. Why are you all playing with your dolls? It's the same kind of comment. It's the same thing that we had about The Witcher when it turned out they were laughing at the source material and stuff. He doesn't seem to respect it.
Yeah, when his hero Grant Morrison called him out, Damon Lindelof, but this is the Gunn verse on Green Lantern. He wrote a scathing thing that was wonderful to see, the non-binary Grant Morrison, by the way. Here is a clip of him looking sad.
Hello there, sir.
Hey, you guys.
Good to see you.
Oh, this is not the one, but okay, this is something different.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, can I say one thing to you?
Yeah.
I've watched every clip out of Atlanta, and it looks amazing.
Oh, dude, you don't even know.
I think we do, James. I think we do know.
It's appropriate that he dressed like a massive pile of shit for this fucking thing.
Yep.
I really thought he was gonna ask him about it seems like they just keep asking them questions about the binary and gay stuff.
Yes. Well, it's probably
every time,
because that's all gay people can do, apparently, is talk about dicks and butts all the time.
When you invite queerly, when you invite gay people, right? When you invite not just gay people, but when you invite these public gay channels, where that's what their channel's about.
Yeah.
It is about gay superheroes. It's about gay people in media. What other fucking question are they going to ask?
Exactly.
It's just like all these people who are so insecure because they're not actually comfortable being gay, probably because they're not. It's something else wrong with their lives. Let's just be real. But they're not really comfortable. So they have to project all this other stuff onto characters to pretend that they can actually see them as queer, even though that's not how they're written, just so they feel like they belong, until they realize, oh, fuck, I'm still suicidal. What do I do now? But these are when you invite black girl nerds out, what do you expect them to ask? They're gonna ask about black shit.
Yeah, I mean that these organizations are made, probably had nothing to do with USAIDs, to be invited to things. They're not made to actually get traction or be watched by anybody. If you look at any, listen, 15 views is 15 more than most people, but that's not really, you're not really influencing anything. And that was the whole point. But they're there for the company. That's why the company invites them there to push their narrative. So this is all the marketing department. This is the producers. This is all planned. They want this stuff to happen. So Millie Alcock getting asked those questions, they knew it was going to happen. She knew it was going to happen. And we see the result. That being said, she couldn't have said anything bad, and it wouldn't have affected this. This box office would remain the same.
Agreed.
In my opinion.
I think it had an impact, but I don't think it's kind of like Rachel Zegler and Snow White, right? That movie was so bad and written so terribly, so many bad decisions. Rachel Zegler could have said nothing wrong, and it still would have flopped and failed. Not as hard as it did, though. That's the way I view the Millie Alcock stuff. I don't think it's had as big of an impact as the Rachel Zegler stuff, but instead of a $50 million opening, it might be a $42 million opening. Like that's the difference I'm talking about.
Nearly every bit of marketing in this film has been horrible, and everything that Millie Alcock has been saying has been terrible. I think
the movie was bad.
I think one of the official clips they released was that Bug taking a shit and her looking at it.
The first clip they released was Crypto pissing on Superman's face.
Yes.
And that's the opening of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's why I think these interviews do show you about the quality of it, because the same people that are, like the same idea that invites Queerly Radio to your interviews is the same thing that makes the movie in the first place. So it inherently hates people like Superman or hates masculinity and everything else, and that creates the movie to be bad in the first place. So yeah, it may not affect the box office, but it goes all the way back to the start. The same things that make you invite those people ruin your movie. It creates your characters. You can't separate the two.
Yeah,
I do got to give the movie praise because I was so fucking happy to see Crypto laid up for that long. I
wish he had died.
Jeremy and I had a conversation about this as dog owners. I am a sucker for a dog story. I love dogs. I wanted Crypto to die.
Real dogs.
If Crypto her though,
real dog, like a real dog actor, I would like Crypto.
Yeah,
because the fact that it's just CGI, it's not a real fucking animal.
But the dog was an arsehole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crypto's fucking run its course, and it was so quick. Think of this is the type of person that James Gunn is.
Yes.
Nobody wants dogs to be hurt. Everybody loves dogs. Dogs are fucking amazing. But James Gunn, in less than a year, has made it so everybody would root for that fucking dog on screen to die because they're so sick of it getting involved in the plot. They're so sick of dealing with it. That's James Gunn.
And that was his hook for Guardians 3. It was torturing animals.
Yep.
So, what's wrong with it?
It was the same plot. It's our pet just got injured and we can't help it and do anything about it unless we go find a specific guy that's the only dude that can help this one animal while it lays on a table somewhere.
And also there are similarities to Marvel's in this movie, like the space stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah.
The effects are so dog shit. And I'm not underselling this. The flight scenes look fucking off. They make CW look pure cinema.
I mean, no, there's
She's also literally female Star-Lord.
Yeah,
or at least some of the movie she is.
She's got a trench coat and headphones. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, there is a scene where she flies towards the camera and it's a big close up of her face, and it looked like green screen. It looked
so
terrible.
hard.
It looked so bad.
And everything in the film is derivative. Like there's even a moment where literally they steal a scene from Over the Top with the arm wrestling scene.
The DCU is derivative.
Okay.
The DCU is derivative.
Remember she called that alien Squidward, just like we saw in the MCU?
Peacemaker, according to James Gunn, is based on Better Call Saul. Don't know if you guys knew that, but found out last night.
It is?
Lanterns is based on True Detective. This film, which is based on a comic that was a ripoff of True Grit, is now True Grit, Mad Max, and Furiosa. It's all derivative.
Yikes.
Because he doesn't know what to fucking do. He took the job because he was a big name for Marvel, and DC did same thing happens in the comics, by the way. They love poaching all the talent. So seeing it happen in the studios is great. And of course he's going to say yes or go, we're going to put you in charge. You seem like you're the guy who's made everything go. And he goes, sure. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, let's do it. And he probably, had enough confidence to think he could figure it out. Well, you haven't. And now it's fucking cooked.
Yeah.
It is
he read a real Superman comic and goes, I fucking hate this character.
Yeah. He likes the boys. He's a fan of the boys.
Yeah.
Of course. But also, they're also entirely different like skill sets. Making an actress a writer with no experience is just as stupid as making a guy that makes movies run a studio that creates movies.
Exactly.
One's a strategic vision, the other one is making individual pieces. Very few people have those kind of multiple skill sets that merge together. You'd be far better off with a suit than
if you get a job and you don't know what you're doing, you hire people that do know what they're doing to help you. James Gunn is a control freak and doesn't want to be told what to do. He's not going to let anybody tell him what to do, and had to leave the he just came from a place where Kevin Feige was telling him no about things and only gave him this much control of a bunch of characters that are once again are nothing like their comic book counterparts at all. The Guardians of the Galaxy characters are nothing like their comic book counterparts at all. If you're a Drax fan, you will be infuriated with how badly they interpreted
ruined Drax.
I was legitimately excited because I did know a little bit about Drax, and I was like, this is nothing like Drax. At least the movie's entertaining.
The mid-2000s Guardians books are fucking gold. They are so good. Okay, so I want to get back to a part in the movie where Allura Jor-El gives the Uncle Ben speech to Supergirl. And here's the speech. Here's the quote. When I'm gone, promise me something. Be good. That doesn't mean that you can't be tough. It doesn't mean that you need to always be nice. Just be good. Now, I'm a firm believer in tough but fair. I like it, but this isn't exactly with great power comes great responsibility. Here's the underlying message of this, the way I interpret it, knowing James Gunn the way I do, based on his body of work and interviews. A lot of people in Hollywood roll out of the rack every morning thinking they're good and they're right, and we don't have to have a conversation about anything. There's no room to grow because we're the good guys and they're the fucking bad guys. So we don't need to be nice or kind or empathetic, although they like to throw out that word all the time, although they don't know what it fucking means. And I think the message in that is fucking terrible. Plus, we have Millie Alcock out there saying, you can be your own hero. That is, as is pointed out and Disbrew's pointed out, that's antithetical to being a hero. A hero is selfless. A hero puts themselves last. A hero risks their life to save a fucking dog. That's what a hero does. You can't be your own fucking hero. That is some commie gobbledygook.
Well, that's what I was going to say when, not only does that line show that they don't understand or they don't have a positive view of goodness because they felt they needed caveats. That doesn't mean you can't be tough or anything like that. So that means that they think goodness isn't being tough. So that they don't even think good is that great. And then on top of that, being just good isn't enough to be a hero. You need to be noble. You need to be self-sacrificing. Like a true hero is willing to give up their life to help others, right? It is a self-sacrificing, noble thing to do something for someone else that can't do it themselves, even if it makes your life worse. Supergirl, it's all about, me. My life is terrible. I'm going to drown myself in my own misery. And if helping you out is kind of convenient for me, I might do it. But, only when I got the powers. There's nothing about her that is noble or uplifting or inspiring at all. No. Guess what? This did not feel like a superhero movie. Did not feel like Supergirl. And that's when she put on the outfit. I was revolted by it. It's like, you don't deserve to wear it. You're not this character.
She's not as bad of a villain as Ironheart, but the theme is similar. There's a little similarities there with Ironheart, which you don't need to grow.
Gems was just reparations.
That's right.
But this is the problem with why the movie feels so shallow is because people are like, it's so full of heart. Well, the heart is I'm supposed to care about her, the girl she's with, and the dog. Well, the girl she's with, I can't work out whether she's meant to be a superpowered warrior that can do everything or a damsel in distress.
Yes.
And the dog and Supergirl are both insufferable. And so I don't care about the bond of any of these people or what happens. And neither does Supergirl. Supergirl doesn't care about the girl. She keeps telling her to piss off all the time. And she just kind of, I think at one point towards the end, she seems to be holding onto the back of the ship. I didn't even know where she popped out of for the final planet.
At the end, Kara gets on a ship to go to another planet when she's fully powered by the yellow sun. And she leaves the girl behind. So there's no reason for her to go on that fucking ship. She can just fly there. But she goes on the ship because they need Ruthie to stow away on it and bring her costume. It's so fucking stupid. And I'm like, did I miss something? But there's a scene in the cave where she's like, basically like, what are you doing here? Well, I stowed away. So I'm like, oh shit. So you just could have flown there. Now you didn't know there was a green sun. That would have probably been bad. But that's the kind of you know,
Are you
inconsistent.
dying, Gary?
No.
Calm down, man.
But
In real
this is
time,
the issue.
man.
Living in
Supergirl-
time, Jeremy. Living in time.
That was basically that was Gary's impersonation of James Gunn's universe, just complete dying right
That's it.
before our very eyes.
You like
Go ahead,
it?
disprove.
But it's like, if Supergirl doesn't care about the relationship between her and this girl, how am I supposed to? It's like, I would have preferred she'd got left on a planet afterwards. And all this stuff about be good is just because they don't want to use the word justice, because that's attached to Superman. But justice encapsulates everything. Justice is bad things can happen to bad people, and that is good. And so you don't have to do all these little caveats and things that the moment you say good, well, now we have to discuss what you think good is. Which
they don't
would
believe
be
in
interesting. Well, it would be an interesting
real good.
conversation.
Yeah.
She doesn't even saw it at the end of the movie, but the film is so shallow they can't write that into the script because they don't think about it on that kind of level. So you just get sort of surface level.
They don't
words
even
and-
have her value the relationship with Superman.
Yeah.
The only other remaining Kryptonian. She doesn't even give a shit
Strike his
about it.
drink.
Yeah.
And you know, another aspect of how this film fails as a superhero film is that one of the more aspirational, great things about the superhero genre, when done right, and yes, there are superheroes that subvert it, and their whole thing is about going against it. But the core, the true value of it, is a discussion about power and the correct use of power. Look at Spider-Man's tagline: "With great power comes great responsibility." In the core of so many of the best superheroes, it's about, you have tremendous power. Are you going to use that power to help others or to help yourself? And a hero is one that realizes, I have this power to help others, so I'm going to sacrifice my own pleasure, my own, life, my own, desires, to use that power responsibly. Look at this character, Supergirl, where she has great power and she actively uses it and abuses it. And the scene that encapsulates this is the arm wrestle scene, where she's like,
Yes.
I have this tremendous power and I know I can beat you, but I'm going to purposely go out of my way to abuse it and break your arm and punish others. And like Disbury, you kind of shared that clip where, might have been Yellow Flash. We were saying this felt very much like Captain Marvel energy, that cut scene where she's evil. That scene actually depicted her as using her power for her own benefit and gratification.
Yeah, you would hold back. Like Spider-Man, Spider-Man pulls his punches. So does Superman. There's that famous line where he's like, I walk in a world of cardboard.
Yes, exactly.
So
and instead of
that
pulling her
scene
punch to not, hurt others, she goes out of her way to use her powers to cause excessive or additional harm and hurt to others because she's a vile piece of crap. I hate.
Well, they hurt her ego. It is the Brie Larson scene of, you should smile more. And then she destroys him, steals his car and everything else. That was, they sat down at the table and they hurt her ego by thinking, you think you're stronger than me? So now I've got to prove to you beyond any doubt. And yeah, she did get the girl out of the way of the fight, but then she ended everyone else. Well, everyone else in that bar, they just saw you attack a man. So they're now defending themselves and you're hurting these people who are essentially innocent.
The bar owned by the nice diverse couple, by the way.
Yeah. There's a deeper concern that this is kind of like, if you want to pay attention, this reveals something about what feminists would like to do with power, because this is all about their own wish fulfillment.
Oh, yeah. That's it is a feminist power fantasy. And when Grace Randolph is calling your film a feminist manifesto, you've done wrong, because that's your target audience.
She said old girl needs to be fired from the Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, well,
she went ham, man. She went ham.
Imagine what that's going to be like. And then now I want
we aren't getting one.
Teen Titans. So that's
we
going to
aren't
be
getting one. Those films are not happening.
Yeah. I think after Man of Tomorrow, it's all done. I think it's done.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
Wrapped again.
You've got this woman who just did this, writing Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. Odin, you brought it up earlier how much this reminded you of Birds of Prey. Well, thank God the person who wrote Birds of Prey is currently writing the Batman movie for James Gunn's universe.
She keeps getting jobs.
She wrote The Flash too, didn't she?
Yes,
she did. Yeah,
she wrote Bumblebee.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
And
Bumblebee is okay though.
I never watched it. Bumblebee's great, actually.
So
I've seen it once and no interest in it again.
I didn't want to watch it because there was a female lead character. I just saw that. I'm like,
fair point.
Who does a swan dive at
Dude,
the
the
end?
opening of that movie is great.
Opening of Bumblebee is rad.
We need to discuss
Yeah,
the worst crime of this film, of Supergirl. and it is doubling down on Jor-El sending Superman to conquer Earth. So that's another thing the Gunn apologists are going to have a hard time with.
I was told
because what the fuck?
Got it.
Jeez.
They told us they were going to retcon that shit.
Yeah.
Bunch of stupid assholes.
I don't
James
think
Gunn's interview is doubling down.
I don't think that they said it was a retcon at first. They said that like it was like
Oh,
it was
it's
being
just the trick.
manipulated. Yeah,
The trick
Yeah,
from Lex
They told
Luthor.
us
You
it was
guys are so
manipulated,
dumb.
and then,
Like, you
and then
no,
they
it's
shifted it.
not.
well, and
Yeah.
then when it was pointed out, because in the movie they tell you it is not a mistake. This is 100% what the message is. Well, they're going to retcon it in Supergirl for sure. We'll see from the other perspective. No, bitch. That's how James Gunn wants his universe to play out. That's how he sees the Kryptonians.
James Gunn did an interview where they asked him specifically about it, and he went, "Well, there's this and this and this and this and this. How could you? Like, I deliberately made it so you couldn't possibly interpret it that way."
I just
His
watched
dad is-
Invincible. It's really cool. Like you're
They
like,
basically made his dad Zod. In many ways.
they're Viltrumites. They're not Kryptonians.
Yes.
They're actually
Yeah,
Viltrumites, yeah.
and
He
that's
straight
probably
up
where
was like, yo, just
That's where he got it from, I bet. Yeah.
bang as many women as possible and rebuild the race.
He took a one-off comment by Laura and John Burns, Man of Steel, and extrapolated on it. But I'm paraphrasing the quote, but it's Kal-El's crazy uncle sent him to Earth to conquer it or something like that. And so like it's unquestionable. And then they make Jor-El the good guy. By the way, Jor-El doesn't really look like his daughter very much. So I'm just wondering, where his wife has been spending her nights. But yeah, they made it a
He
point.
looks like a UPS guy.
That is
Well, in this movie, it was actually an immaculate conception. So
yeah,
impregnated by feminism.
James Gunn will make a cameo in the next one. It'll be he'll be actually the dad. That'll be how that works.
And that
No
change
joke, but that could happen.
that change to Superman's father was so bad that even I was wondering that wouldn't they have to retcon it because it's so bad. And now, because they've doubled it, it's like, I can't believe that they did this to Jor-El. Like,
I'm really happy.
Look at the nobility of Jor-El in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, where his entire discourse to Superman is this uplifting message that you're going to be this, beacon of hope. You need to guide the human race to be better and everything. Jor-El
from one of the biggest degenerates in the history of Hollywood, Marlon Brando, by the way, and that's how good of an actor he is. He's sold it.
We've had different iterations, and we've had Russell Crowe's iteration in Man of Steel. Some people liked it, some people didn't. And even in the comics, we have had different iterations of Jor-El, and I think even one of them he considered, should he rule them? Is that what he should do? Before deciding, no, that's probably not the best way. But it was just, it's such a ridiculous, nonsensical change that maybe you think could have been done for a joke or for humor, but no, they desperately want this to double down in this. I'm glad they didn't retcon it, because what I was worried about was they were going to get such fucking backlash that they were going to retcon it and pretend like they had always planned on it being a scheme or a trick. And then all these stupid Superman fucking James Gunn cucks were going to be, see, we told you so. The gun never jams, or whatever the fuck they said. Right? And I'm so happy that they have now doubled down on this. And so now you can't get out of it. Please, I hope you get your fucking tweets pulled up from a year ago when you're defending this gay bullshit. Fuck
Has
you.
someone actually said the gun never jammed?
Yes,
that's fucking hilarious.
That was an actual thing. The gun never jams.
Motherfucker. Guns firing blanks.
Shit never had ammunition, bro.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, and
it looks like we need some gun control at DC Studios.
Right. I'm on the road. There, I'm on the road. I can't remember my buttons. But let's talk real quick about the end, where Supergirl finishes her hero's journey by that complete flat line, almost as flat as Millie Alcott. And
contradicting everything she said.
Yes, she's trying to save Ruthie from a life of of pain and misery, committing vengeance on Krem of the Yellow Hills, and then she goes off and kills him. And Lobo's on a hill witnessing it. Goes, my man,
hell yeah, my man, yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you were going for the anti-hero thing, that works because it is like, well, look, this will damage you if you do it, but I'm willing to take on that burden for you because you're innocent and I'm not. And like, we've had that with like Section 31 and stuff. I think it works well. And it would lead into some good things with Superman, where he's like, how can you do this? It's like, no, I'm doing this for you because you wouldn't do it. And she is right that if she just let her kill her, that family would have been alive. It would have been the right thing to do to let Ruthie have killed him in that moment.
There's a scene in Buffy. There's a scene in Buffy where oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Giles kills somebody, but right before he does it, he's all, you see, Buffy's not like us. She's a hero. And then he kills the villain when she walks away, so she doesn't witness it. Takes care of some business that needed to be taken care of, but he also expresses that Buffy would never take a human life. You know, like that doesn't work with Supergirl. Yeah. Supergirl. She was neither super or a hero. And maybe not even a girl. She was just a hot mess.
And she's kind of presented like now she's at peace the next scene after she kills him. She's like, hey, I'm ready to go home and just relax and be.
She just needed to kill a man.
I mean, yeah.
Killing a man will do that for a feminist.
I think they were going for that to be her heroic moment where she finally accepted herself and what her kind of why she should wear the suit is. I'm just going to kill them all. It's essentially the message of the movie for her.
Well, I think the idea and the interpretation is, well, she can't be Superman 2.0. Like, we have to make her different. But the difference is that she grew up on Krypton and she actually has to deal with the weight of actually losing a world that she grew up on. And that's the contrast between them, is like, you're a Kryptonian and you don't even know where you came from or your heritage, and you love these humans. And I have no attachment to them because I grew up on another planet and had to watch it get destroyed. And that's an interesting contrast. But instead they're like, well, we just have to make her completely opposite of him. But to be honest, there's no heroes in this universe. Superman isn't an inspiration to anybody. The most inspiring person in this universe is Guy Gardner, who straight up says, like, sorry, Superman's not here. I'm better than him anyways. Like, okay, cool, man. Like, you know, it's a mess.
Actually likes Luthor.
You know,
well, yeah, I'm here to protect the planet.
The thing is, on that note, she didn't actually grow up on Krypton in this version. She grew up in a bottle city where after she was born after the planet was destroyed, and so she doesn't have the burden.
8 years. Yeah, they can't leave it either for some reason.
And then
in a
also
universe
only
with easy space travel.
Only some of them are impacted by the kryptonite. I don't think I caught how that works.
I mean, it was bizarre. Like, Flash's point is spot on. They have easy, faster than light travel. They're a super advanced race, and so they're not trapped in this city anymore. It's like, you know, that's not sustainable. Just leave. But no, he can only make one spaceship. But if you have the resources to make one, why can't you make more? But no, it's only going to be like it's retarded. This film is stupid.
The kryptonite poisoning can happen even though you're not
powered by yellow
sun. It can happen over time to even humans, because they did. Lex Luthor got cancer from his kryptonite ring in the comic books, so it can happen over a long period of time. But you're right, Odin. It does. How come it didn't affect Kara, but it affected everybody else,
including her parents, who she was with? Which means any exposure would have also been there for her. It does. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Is she the girl? Is the key to everything?
Oh.
Go ahead, Ryan.
It sucks that they use like that. They're like, hey, this is the difference between Supergirl and Superman. Superman was sent as a baby and he got raised by, you know, two really good parents, even though we depict them as fucking retarded, blah, blah, blah. But Kara had to go through all this trauma. She has all this trauma in her backstory. And it's like, yeah, that's what would make it actually all the more awesome if somebody with all that trauma, with that past, like still is able to be this good person, like the Supergirl that we see from the comics, who isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination and does struggle at times, right? Instead of turning into who she is. It's one of the cool things about Nightwing or Robin or Dick Grayson, whoever you want to say, right? He has the same traumatic past that Batman does, but he has a much different fucking outlook on the world, in large part, ironically, because Batman wanted to prevent him from growing up exactly like him while being someone else. But that's what makes that character cool, because even with that trauma, they don't necessarily go down this path. And they decided that has to be the difference between Superman and Supergirl. Superman had everything fucking handed to him on a silver platter. Supergirl had to go through all this trauma, and that's why she's fucked up.
The thing is, though, because the way people were describing it, I thought she'd be growing up in some kind of hell dimension where she was in permanent agony her entire life, when actually it's far more similar to just like someone losing their parents to a degenerative disease. This isn't what she's experiencing, isn't unique anywhere in the world. And that's why if they had done it like she hadn't fallen apart, it would actually have been inspiring to people, and people could have related to that far more. It does seem to be a really odd choice to be like, no, if you do this, you should just give up. Your life is now worthless because you've experienced something. And there was a really weird line where they said, I didn't even know any different. So you kind of question, why would she be that bothered about it? To her, this is normal life. She kind of grew up in a situation where she had no comparison. You could have just thought it would be the same as growing up in a place where people just had short lifespans overall, and then you get kicked out. It would only be when she arrived on Earth would she have known, oh, this, when she met Superman, been like, oh, this is what my upbringing should have been. It doesn't really fit. It feels more like they had an outcome they wanted, but didn't know what would cause that.
And they couldn't change her character because they want her to be the foil for Superman. They want her to be this anti-hero. She's going to play a big part, apparently, in Man of Tomorrow, which does not bode well for that movie.
When is that supposed to come out? 28?
Next
27.
year.
27.
Yep.
I do wonder if Superman's going to be like trying to kill someone and she has to bring him back from the brink because of what it did to her.
And then she'll just kill him
There
anyway.
are cool things you can. There are cool things you can do with those characters. Everyone that says like Superman's boring or whatever. There are cool things you can do with those two characters because they have like inverse arcs, right? Yeah. Kara grows up on Krypton. Well, in most words, on Krypton, but with her people. And all of a sudden, she's kind of feels all alone in the universe, except for her cousin Superman. Whereas Superman grows up normally, thinking he has all this stuff, but then he finds out that, no, you're not like everybody else. You know, so like and then Kara is learning to embrace Earth as her people, whereas Superman's trying to discover more about his Kryptonian past. There's interesting stories you could tell with them together, but none of them will happen in James Gunn's universe.
None of them will happen in Hollywood because that would basically be a man showing a woman how to live life and how to operate here on Earth. That's the sad because you're right. There's awesome contrast there, but they're not going to be able to tell that story.
That's why they have to diminish the male character. Disbrew, I think it was you or Az who brought it up on the real BBC. I wasn't on. Ahsoka, when Ray Stevenson's Balin Skoll shows up, man, you can feel his presence. Like he just automatically diminishes everybody else by his charisma. And
he says nothing worthwhile because the script is trash.
Yes.
But good performance.
Rest in peace.
The guy had presence.
It shows you the
in
difference
this, Superman
between,
is
like, men can convey, respect, intimidation, presence just by their appearance and size. And when they try and force a female character to be just as intimidating, when they're like 5 foot nothing and they're like, it doesn't work. It does not translate.
She's 5'2".
Feminists are desperate to try and have women as strong as men, and so they invent the girl boss trope where they are acting like they're on top of everything when they don't deserve it, and they're not even
And like big thing about like DC is you kind of are built around these like three monoliths in like Superman, the embodiment of like hope and justice, and then you have like Batman, who is like the indomitable human spirit, and then you have Wonder Woman. She's already right there. Like everybody, you already have a character that is strong and driven and can be a feminist icon without putting men down around her. Because at the end of the day, the reality is in DC, it's Superman's game. Like there ain't nobody else on that board that's looking at that guy going like, yeah, I could put that guy down. But remember, James Gunn made this the most vulnerable Superman we've ever had. He's basically just a fucking metahuman who can fly. That's cool. Like, great.
And nobody takes him seriously.
Nobody's looking at this guy going, he's the embodiment of hope in the universe at all.
And even in this, Even in this, when he's talking to her in that scene, he's constantly apologizing. Oh, how on earth did I forget you do English? He's the kind of guy who, if he would be like 6'3", but he slouches so he doesn't actually intimidate other people. It's a very weird, it is the Clark Kent as Superman kind of thing. But there is another way you could have done Supergirl if she'd gone through this, that she kind of just went cold, all of her emotions just numbed. And then with Ruth, she takes on the motherly role, and that kind of wakens up to the other emotions of just going through. But that would be a normal, traditional kind of female role in a movie, which they can't do. it's their very ideology that cuts them off from all the good stories, and then they can't cope with it afterwards. There is nothing to replace it.
It's the Bechdel test. By the way, the creator of the Bechdel test said it was a joke,
Yes.
but it is gospel in Hollywood. Now, let's take a look at the Wednesday, Thursday box office numbers, because they aren't good, and it doesn't look like this thing is going to sniff $50 million domestically.
Yikes.
So it's not even going to hit in the right now. Is it not even tracking for 50s domestically?
Now it's tracking to 40s.
Whoa.
40s. Ooh.
Whoa. That's
So-
fucking bad.
They were some people were saying 39.
Holy
It sounds like that could be a reality. And you
Yeah.
know it's not going to be saved by international because Superman had terrible international
numbers.
Nobody
Right.
internationally watched it really.
Hang on, how could it be failing so badly when Angry Joe got his audience to go watch it for him?
You guys, please
Like-
go support.
Do it for
your boy.
For me. Do it for me.
Remember,
That
guys,
Your boy.
Angry Joe never said it was
things
going to be good. He just said go see it. Okay, he never said the movie was going to be good. He was arguing with us just because, you know.
The thing is, one of his points was, all these things you're talking about, and you haven't actually seen the movie yet. And that's always such a big thing. Yes, it's true. Until we see the movie, we can't see the movie. But these press junkets and trailers and promotional material, it exists for a reason. It exists to try to convince you to watch the movie. It exists for you to judge it. And they're hoping that when you watch it, you will judge it to be worthy of your time and attention and money. That's the point of trailers. That's the point of promotional material. So, like, for all the people that say, don't judge a movie, don't do any of that stuff, don't fucking hate on a movie before you see it. Look, when you see it, you make up your final decision on what the movie is. However, if I'm not allowed to say anything negative about the PR junket, then you shouldn't be able to say anything fucking positive.
Exactly.
Right? If we're not supposed to talk about or anything like that, this movie, then just sit there, watch a trailer and say absolutely fucking nothing. Don't say, oh, this looks sick, bro. No, you're not allowed, apparently. If you can't say anything negative, you shouldn't be fucking hyping it up nonsensically.
I don't know how many of you were, I was genuinely looking forward to James Gunn Superman because I wanted to see what he was going to do. I genuinely went in there giving it a shot, hopeful, thinking, okay, I liked all of his Guardians movies, didn't really like Suicide Squad, didn't watch, Peacemaker, but I want to see what he's going to do. Fucking terrible. But went into it with positive vibes going, oh, this is going to be, and it ended up being a shit show. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. You go into a movie excited, you go into a movie not excited, it can change your mind one way or the other. Welcome to the internet, Joe. This is how it works.
Well, when I got in there about 15 minutes in, I'm like, I can't believe I'm not liking this. I expected something decent. I didn't think it would be the greatest thing ever, but I expected something decent. And wow, was I disappointed.
It was so fucking bad.
The name of my Superman review, if I recall, is Superman is a disappointment, but it isn't woke. But Supergirl is a disappointment, and it is woke as fuck. Absolutely
Just bad.
Did you see Chato's Supergirl title?
What?
It was
Yes.
like not as bad as having a catheter shoved up you without lube.
So, box
How does he
office.
know that? Hang on.
Well, I mean, obviously he has had some experience. He is a man of a certain age. So, box office, Supergirl takes off, guys, with a 7.8 million, with 7.8 million in previews. Now that is Wednesday and Thursday, as Ryan
Take that,
pointed out.
chuds.
Geeks and Gamers Daily. Take that, fucking chuds.
Look at that last sentence.
Which one?
It earned 13 million global.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ouch.
my God. Ouch. The box office is going up and away once again with Supergirl. DC Studio. This is fucking Variety, who wrote the most savage review of Supergirl from the Access Media just a couple of days ago. DC Studios follow up to last year's Superman opening in theaters this weekend. The Warner Brothers film starring House of the Dragon's Millie Alcock as Superman's cousin made 7.8 million in previews at the box office. It earned 13 million globally. Supergirl is projected to make between 47 and 50 million this weekend. It doesn't sniff 50, I'm telling you. But it will be no match for last weekend's box office champion, Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5. The animated sequel is estimated to make $80 million to $90 million in its second weekend. Supergirl has a $170, now $186 million price tag, plus worldwide marketing costs. Reviews have been rough for the superhero movie, so it will need to become a hit with audiences to justify its hefty budget.
And it's not.
It's not. It's also a test of James Gunn's stewardship of the DC universe. The Guardians of the Galaxy director was hired by Warner Brothers in 2022 to help the studio stabilize its superhero movies. I don't think he's done that.
Well done.
He's had hits like Superman. Is it a hit?
Not really.
And Peacemaker season 2? But Peacemaker season 1 did better than Peacemaker season 2 significantly, by the way.
Yes.
And that despite the fact that Peacemaker season 2 had the incredible hype in the immediate aftermath of the global smash hit Superman that like directly tied into and led to Peacemaker season 2. Nevertheless, it performed worse than season 1.
Season 2 is fucking terrible. Dude.
Maybe it was that episode with all the dicks flopping around in the camera or something. I don't know.
3 or 4 of those episodes were completely wasted because they wanted to show you Nazi America.
Yeah, and
I know, and it just made me miss the good old days. You know?
Like imagine you're like, oh man, James Gunn did a show, and then you just watch like Peacemaker sit on his couch, a bunch of dudes blowing each other in an orgy, and you go, oh, I have to watch this to know what's happening in this fucking universe. Like, what are we doing?
It's an important detail.
It is. And Peacemaker season 2 was woke as fuck as well. But Gunn and his partner, Peter Safran, who
sounds so gay.
It does. But maybe Peter has sex with James Gunn's wife too. Must also contend with the fact that after dominating the box office for nearly 2 decades, the popularity of comic book movies appears to be fading until Spider-Man comes out and makes
Spider-Man.
$5 trillion. Even Marvel has struggled with recent offers like Thunderbolts. I wonder why. It stars Yelena and Captain African American falling flat. Next up for DC is the body horror picture Clayface, another movie that's trying to be like another movie, which has earned positive buzz online, as well as Man of Tomorrow, a sequel to Superman without Superman being in the title. That will feature all cock as well. All cock stars in Supergirl as Kara Zor-El.
It is
a
all
long lost relative of David Corenswet's Superman. Okay, like I talked to this about Jeremy yesterday. I can't unsee his lazy eye.
Yeah,
I can't.
Once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Yeah.
From last year's tentpole film, where she appeared in a cameo calling him a bitch. While she's off partying in outer space, Kara helps a young girl hunt down blah, blah, blah. We just talked about the fucking movie. Jackass is coming out too. I also wanted to show a more accurate and somebody I trust more. He's a LA Hollywood TV guy, Scott Mantz. He says something a little different about the box office.
He's been around a long time.
Yes, he has. Breaking. Supergirl opened with 7.8 million on Thursday night previews. It's on its way to around 40 million domestic for its weekend production cost, 175 million.
What would that international take be? That's what I'm.
So the projections right now are indicating, or at least they were, between 80 and 90 million dollars globally, which would be kind of hilarious because now it might be even tracking to be into the 70s. Yeah. As far as its global box office, that means that you have a world where Morbius makes as much or more.
Yeah,
it's gonna have a huge drop off next week. Big drop off.
Look, just ask the James Gunn defenders. Superman's not really popular worldwide, so
that's right.
You know, Supergirl probably won't be either. Outside of America, nobody knows who the fuck Superman is. So
that would be my guess. Brian, can you find that graphic you had on Daily where the projections of compared to Marvel's, and I lost my article
somewhere. I
lost
never
my article
my
person.
fucking tabs.
Where did Steph go? X-Ray Girl.
Just when you thought that, you know, Zack Snyder drove the DCEU into the ground, James Gunn comes along and says, I could do worse.
You know, you think they did it badly? Watch this.
Perhaps I
treated, get a load of me.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly, Zach.
Show this town better class.
We'll lose more money than you can possibly imagine. So here's the graph that you guys showed this morning.
Yeah, so this is just box office forecast, and they kind of put these numbers out and put them together. I at this point, this line that is tracking, opening lower than the Marvels globally, but somehow getting past it. I have my doubts about that.
Yeah, no way.
But I mean, you look at some of these numbers in, Australia, Italy, Germany, all these places. You can see how it's opening compared to some other things. And again, this day one box office, let's keep in mind globally, yes, you've got the day one, but here you had the Wednesday previews and Thursday. So for any of the films that you're comparing it against, like the Marvels, if that didn't have Wednesday previews, it's just against the pure Thursday. It had a worse pure Thursday than the Marvels did. But internationally, Australia opened a little higher. This is half, and this is 30% fucking Germany of what the Marvels opened to. You're looking at these numbers from around the world.
World Cup. All right. World Cup's going on right now, guys.
Yeah,
all right.
That's what they're blaming. They already brought that up twice in two different articles.
Well, and
here we go.
To be fair, I'm sure it was raining.
Yeah, and there's a heat wave
on a street somewhere in Georgia. Yeah,
there's a heat wave in the UK.
There's a heat wave in France, so no one wants to go to where there's actually air conditioning at a theater.
The horror.
Have you been there? Have you smelled them? Being in an enclosed room with a bunch of French people.
It was
it's the same thing in Asia, right? Look at these numbers in Asia, South Korea and Indonesia. Obviously nowhere close to Superman, but nowhere close to the Marvels. I guess better than Madam Web. Congratulations in one country. But
Madam Web's a better film in every aspect.
Madam Web's more fun.
Yeah, it's way more fun.
And again, this was when they were forecast around $260 million worldwide. I think that number has dropped significantly in just a day once everything else came out.
So Madam Web coming out. When's the article coming out to where if Supergirl hits 150 million worldwide, they'll consider it a win? I'm waiting for that.
I think it might be. I mean, never say never with them, but it might be too late because they put that 315 out pretty quick. They were like, all right, 300, 315. That's where we need to hit, and it's not getting anywhere close to that.
Sorry, Flash. What were you going to say?
Well, Madam Web benefits because it's so bad, it's unintentionally kind of good.
Yep.
Like some of the stuff in that movie is hilarious, especially with how the guy, a Pepsi machine, didn't a Pepsi sign fall on him?
Yeah, the Pepsi sign crushes it.
He gets crushed by the P.
My favorite is where he sees her driving the car at him and he jumps into it.
No, Madam Web is a porno without any of the sex scenes, but it's all the setup scenes. If you see it like that, then it's a hilarious movie.
I hadn't until now. I can't unsee it.
The older women getting the two younger women to do CPR practice, or the older woman getting the younger women out into the middle of the Central Park or wherever the hell they were. Yeah. It's tons of it. It's hilarious.
I love when they were trying to stay hidden, so they went to a restaurant and started dancing on tables and stuff.
Yep.
Very inconspicuous.
Yep. Yes. So
maybe like the worst creative decision to cast Sydney Sweeney in your movie and keep her covered as much as you can.
It's such an atrocity.
Hey, she looked really good as Spider-Man in that tagged on scene that they did. That they had to film at the last minute, and she looked really good. Really good. But this is bad. This is really bad. So 200 something million. It will be number 2 at the box office. It is going to get crushed in the next few weeks by Jeremy's favorite movie, Minions versus Monsters.
Yay.
We get a live action remake of an animated film, Moana. Then we get the Odyssey, which we're going to talk about next. And then Spider-Man comes out.
I have no idea what's happening with that Moana bullshit. It looks horrific.
That shit is going to.
It looks. I don't know, man. The
It's
Moana
a Maui summer.
The Moana 2 movie that I
but yeah,
I heard it
thing is so weird. I can't.
Wasn't Moana 2 supposed to be a Disney Plus show or a movie?
The animated movie
it was supposed to be a series.
Show that they turned into a movie. Yeah,
and they made $1 billion off that shit.
Yeah, but
but it's Boys in the Well.
But Lilo and Stitch came out and did very well. We've had hit or miss for these live action things for Disney, obviously. The difference for Moana is that it is popular, but people fucking hated the trailer. Didn't that get ratioed to hell?
Big time.
So people despise that trailer, and it's not too often that you see, like, here or there, right? You can see movies that get absolutely annihilated on that first trailer and go on to make a bunch of money. Look, Minecraft got annihilated on that first trailer, went on to make a bunch of money. But those are typically exceptions rather than the rule. Moana got annihilated for how it looks. So because it just looks all CGI and shit. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look live action at all.
It looks
whereas
really
like
bad.
there's no pretense for the Minion movies. Like everybody knows what that is when they're going to see it, and like my kids love that. But even my kids looked at Moana, they're like, "Why does he look like that? Like the weird bodysuit thing that he's wearing." And
is that the ratio, X-Ray Girl?
Mm-hmm.
You could say a word. You could say yes.
No, it's worse. No, that's just that's
That's The Rock.
There's a worse one. But that's on The Rock's YouTube channel, which is fucking
shit.
funny.
Oh shit!
It's a Maui summer.
I've never seen a Hollywood star just destroy their brand as bad as he has.
Are you sure? I mean, Will Smith?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Will Smith. Okay, he made Wild Wild West. I don't want to talk.
Oh, really? You like that?
Okay.
No.
At least
Hey,
the
he's
one
great
I
and bright. I love bright.
The
Dude,
main
and then he ruined that too, though. He was
Yep,
like,
he
man,
did.
the one thing I have going for me, let me punch Chris Rock in the face.
Yep.
Let me.
let's
Whoa, healthy
ratio.
Nice. Oh,
damn.
Yep.
Tell
Yeah.
And then you had
beating
another
the brakes off it.
Just a bunch of racists.
This was the final trailer.
Yeah.
Brakes.
It's almost racist hate on Rock.
But I have no idea what this movie's going to do. I really have no idea.
I think it's going to do badly. I don't think it's.
But yeah,
the thing is with Lilo and Stitch, there was enough time in between, and they actually did. They leaned into the marketing that made Lilo and Stitch work the first time, where he started appearing in like Disney movie, like things like they do the Beauty and the Beast ballroom, and he shows up and like crashes the scene. Like so, there was that kind of thing, and that character is just like it kind of just sells like this chaotic weird goblin dog thing. Everybody's like, oh my god, that's so cute. Whereas like, what do you have in this? There's nothing like cute about this. Like
weird. Nobody wants
looking
rock.
What about the chicken?
Nobody's seeing this for a hey. Like,
hey. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ho-ho. What's his name?
They made him look even more retarded in the live action. He's just like banging his head against rocks. Like he's just trying to actively kill himself the whole movie because he doesn't want to be here either.
To Gary's point, like you got Minions, then you got Moana, then you got Odyssey. This Supergirl's completely fucked.
Toasted.
There is nothing. There's nothing. And I mean, is it like possible that this thing doesn't clear 300 million worldwide? Maybe 250?
I think it's possible.
Holy shit, man.
I think it'll be on VOD in 3 weeks.
Oof.
Yeah.
And then it'll make $3 trillion on VOD. And
yeah, as soon as it goes, like, it was a huge success.
Right.
Most
views ever
is flying off
it's
the
almost
shelves.
like the players with Assassin's Creed, which remember that 5 million players.
Yeah. Players engaged, not sales. Engaged.
Yeah, engaged. We all know about impressions and engagement. So yeah, Supergirl is really bad. My review will be coming tomorrow, Sunday. One of those days this weekend. It's long.
Pretty bad.
It's really long.
I can't believe we didn't put up the spoiler paddle for any of this.
Does anybody care?
Yeah.
Is there anything to spoil?
I didn't see a single complaint. It's like spoil Supergirl for me. So yes,
it's funny how I always find it funny how things we think are utter dog shit. We're like, yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're making the decision for you, chat. We're spoiling the fuck out of this dog shit.
Yeah. You don't want to see this, right? Like
that's right. Yeah.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.